Today I want to answer one simple question. Can a finance professional get into IT domain, specifically targeting business analyst role? To be honest, few years back, I hardly used to get this question because typically a finance candidate or a finance professional after completing US CMA, ACCA, CFA or any other certificate for that matter used to target core domain roles, finance roles, and engineering students or IT students used to target IT roles. But lately, commerce students are becoming aware about the FinTech roles, the role where finance and technology is integrated. And second reason, commerce candidates got to know about the premium salary offered in this domain. So after knowing this, lately I've been getting a lot of requests around this question. So I thought of making a video on this, and today we'll be covering two major points. First is, what is business analyst role? What exactly happens in this role? Secondly, can a finance professional fit into it? If yes, are there any conditions for it? What to expect out of this role, and what is future of this role? Let's get started. Now to explain what business analyst is or what business analyst does, let me start by sharing my own story. Back in 2018, I started my career with Deutsche Bank. This was my first job after college, and I used to work in the credit risk team. My job was quite simple. Just sit on one desk, calculate credit risk numbers and submit it at the end of the month. But here's the catch. Even though I was working in a bank, or even if you are working in any organization for that matter, in today's day, you are surrounded by systems, softwares all over the place. And this is nothing but a solution that is given to you. Imagine that you don't have a software or laptop in front of you and someone asks you to calculate credit risk numbers. It would be difficult to take a pen and paper, use a calculator and present your report. Those days are gone. So when I joined Deutsche Bank, the first part that I went through was training on different tools. Whenever there was, let's say, database management or any data requirement, I got to know what is MIS, Management Information System. There was a data warehouse we had, so I got to know what is MicroStrategy as a tool. Now from that, we ran analytics. So in the analytics team, I got to know what is ClickView. ClickView is a tool that is used to run analytics on different data sets. Now from there, we want to present that data. So I got to know what is Excel, what is Power BI, how different dashboards are created, how a presentation or PowerPoint presentation is created, and then we used to present it to our management. This was my overall cycle. Now, if you observe, even though I was working in the finance domain, I had to make myself tech savvy or good enough to work on different tools. Now in this scenario, think from the IT company perspective who made all these softwares. In a bank where finance work is being done, we are using a software which is made by the IT company. So when we think of this IT company, wouldn't you wonder how they got to know that how a financial company works, how a bank works, how a transaction works, what is meaning of different terms? Usually an IT company or an IT candidate knows how to make a software. They wouldn't know how a bank works or how the financial world works. And this is where FinTech professionals come into picture or a business analyst comes into picture. So let me explain what happened next. For 1.5 years, I worked in Deutsche Bank. I built my expertise on n number of tools over there. And after 1.5 years, I started targeting different roles. Now while targeting different roles, one of my friends was a senior business analyst in a company called FIS, Fidelity Information Services. It's a Fortune 500 company. After talking to him, I got to know that these guys do hire commerce candidates or finance professionals, and they have special preference towards Deutsche Bank as well. Now I didn't know the reason back then why they had special preference, but that one reason I'll explain later on.
Now before going ahead, I have a message for you. I'm on a mission to build India's #1 institute for US CMA. So if you're someone who's planning to pursue US CMA and want to be part of our success story, want to give me a chance to build your career, then do consider FinStreet education for pursuing US CMA. Here, the learning is based on real-life applications, case studies. Secondly, there is a dedicated student success manager who will track your progress. And third, the placement model is inspired by IIM Lucknow's placement structure. So placement mentorship plus placement assistance will be taken care by our team. So if you want to pursue USCMA and have any queries around it, you can visit our website to book a call with our experts. Or if you want to join our next batch, you can directly call this number and book your seat. See you in class.
So I got to know about that. I applied for a business analyst role through his referral. I got a shortlist. I went for the interview. I sat for the interview throughout. And that was the place where I realized that some of the certifications or some of the efforts I had taken during my graduation days are now paying off. I'll give you one small example. When I was in SYBCom, I went to one of our professors in college and I said, "Sir, I just have free time, a month or two. Can I pursue some certification that will be helpful in future?" So my professor told me, "Why don't you go and pursue SQL and PLSQL?" I researched about what is SQL, structured query language, and I went back to him saying, "Sir, this is a tech-oriented certificate. What would be used? I mean, it wouldn't be useful. I am targeting finance roles or core, finance domain." Sir said that, "I'm not going to explain. Either you pursue if you want or else don't pursue." And I trusted him. He was my mentor. So I said, "Okay, sir, I'm going to pursue it." Now, in the first class of SQL, I got to know that why this was relevant. The first class trainer kind of showed us a disadvantage or a limitation of Microsoft Excel, that Excel can be used when your database is small, but when you have a huge database, we call it big data now. When you have big data, Excel is not powerful enough to run analysis on it. Then you need better tools for database management, and SQL was one such tool. And not just SQL, you have n number of tools after that. So I was glad that I learned that certificate, but I was very curious that where will I use it ever. And my interview day at FIS was the day when it was one of the, I would say, advantages or certifications that gave me an edge in those interviews, and not just SQL. Then I got to know about the range of certifications. After completing SQL, I went for PLSQL. Then I got to know about what is R, what is Python, and so on. So coming back to my FIS interview, they asked me questions from both domain, finance domain as well as IT domain. I cracked that interview and I joined FIS. Now, after getting into FIS, one special thing I got to know was, even though I was working in FIS, I was working in a company that was acquired by FIS. The name was SunGard. Now it was officially FIS, but the old employees used to still call it SunGard. And SunGard was a company that had supplied multiple tools to Deutsche Bank. So to join the dots, I had worked in a company, Deutsche Bank, where we were user of the same software which was made by SunGard, which is now FIS. So I have just switched the side of the table. On this side of the table with Deutsche Bank, I was user of the software. Now I have joined a company where we are creator of the same software. And after entering FIS, I got to know how structure of a software team or a solution team looks like, or a product management team looks like. To make any software, you usually need 3 pillars. First pillar is developer who knows how to make a software. He knows the coding part of it. Second professional, it's someone who knows the domain part of it, finance part of it. So tomorrow, if any client comes through, FIS had multiple investment banks as their client. So any client comes to this team of FIS, there should be one person who should be able to interact with them, understand their requirement, understand any issues they are facing, and convey it to the development team. So on this part, where we need domain experts, business analysts came through. And after these 2 main pillars, we have the third pillar, which is more of a supportive and admin pillar, where you have project manager working with you, you have technical writers working with you, you have QA, quality assurance, or testers working with you to make sure that there are no bugs in the system and everything is flowing as it is. But the 2 major pillars to make a software run is the development side and the business analyst or the product management side. So I had officially entered FIS into a senior business analyst role while moving from Deutsche Bank to FIS. Now, after joining this, my role was quite simple. Connect with the clients. I was assigned 2 to 3 clients, which were mainly from Europe. So I used to connect with them, understand their requirements, go to developer, get it done, test it, and deliver it back to client. But over here, some key things to note down. See, business analyst, it's an amazing role. You are basically a bridge between development and your client. So over here, it is required that you have knowledge of both the domains. You have a strong understanding of finance domain. So while interacting with client, you are able to present, things properly. But while connecting with the development team, you should be able to simplify things. You should be able to understand technical part of it, how coding works, how database management works, how threading works, how different softwares work. And over here, you have to be skilled enough. Business analyst is an amazing role. Usually you get 2x, 3x of an average salary as an analyst. But to get this 2x, 3x salary, you need that curious and I would say strong business acumen mind to enter this role. I'll give you one example of this. See, when I was working in Deutsche Bank, it was a simple process that you had some tools, just press some buttons, copy paste data, analyze few things, write a comment on it and submit the report. But I was behind my manager asking for logic of each and every number, that whenever a number is coming through or coming out of a software, I'm getting some output. How did the calculation happen in the back end? And my manager used to say, Aditya, you have an SOP, you have some steps in your place, follow those steps, just do your work and go home. But I kept on pushing my manager. One day he opened up the book where calculations were, detailed out or noted down. So I went through all the calculation. I understood basic level logic of how numbers are flowing through. Now back then when I was in Deutsche Bank, I had completed FRM and CMA as well. So I was able to grasp that, understand that. And when I moved to FIS, that knowledge, that skill set kind of came through. That understanding of different calculations, logic, and how a software is providing value to you, solution to your overall job or process, is the key factor that helps you become a business analyst. One of my friends who works as a senior product manager, he tells me that to become a business analyst, more than I would say solution architect, you need to be a person who's a patient listener, so you understand all the issues properly. Second, you are someone who is able to ask smart questions to get what you need. And third part is then you create a solution for it. You understand logic behind the things. So it is a tough role to crack, but if you are able to crack it, then sky is the limit. But this pretty much covers, what is business analyst as a role and how you can enter business analyst world as a finance professional. Now coming to second part of the video to highlight, can a finance professional enter into business analyst role? Of course, wherever IT companies or softwares are being made for finance domain, a business analyst has to be someone who has finance knowledge as well as tech knowledge. So here a finance professional can get in. But couple of things to note down. It is very rare for a fresher to become a business analyst unless you are from a tier 1 college like SRCC. Mainly you will see candidates from NITs or IITs who learn finance and get into these roles. But if you are, let's say, topper, gold medalist, there's a good chance, get some experience of year or two and you can easily get into a business analyst role. That is how it worked out for me as well. I had 1.5 years of experience before getting into the BA role. Second part, you need to be tech savvy as well. So just having finance certifications wouldn't do. You need to earn some certificates that are tech inclined as well. So you can start with SQL, go to PLSQL, or you can go to Python. You can also pursue R. This will help you understand stuff around data analytics and to some extent data science as well. This will help you in analyzing reports, analyzing data, and presenting solutions in a better way. Third, to get an edge over your competition, there are some additional certifications you can do. You can explore the world of project management. You can explore the world of product management. Now, you can't become a product or a project manager at an early stage, but learning about it, learning what are different approaches, styles, management, terminologies will help you crack interviews, will help you make your CV a strong one so that it gets shortlisted and you are able to target roles such as business analyst. And last but not the least, if you want to become business analyst, make sure that whatever software you work on, whatever tool you work on, and whatever professional certificate you earn, you are able to present it well. Because along with this, all this domain knowledge and a number of skills that you need, the major skill that you need is communication skill. If you are able to understand but not able to convey, it is completely useless. So unless and until you have strong domain knowledge and strong communication skill, I wouldn't recommend you to target any BA role blindly. Make a strong CV, earn a lot of certifications, make sure that you have strong skill set and acumen required to become a business analyst, make sure that your communication skill is up to the mark. Then you can target a business analyst role and earn a premium salary. Now, last part, what does future of a business analyst look like? So one major benefit of business analyst is if you're a front-end analyst, you get to travel a lot. I'll give you an example. See, IT industry is mainly a supplier to the overall world when it comes to IT systems, IT softwares. So imagine that you have one client in Europe. So once the software is ready in India for the delivery part, you get to travel. You also get to train them over there. You also get to run a pilot over there. You also get to show some results and then come back. So wherever you have a client, wherever they need you onshore, wherever they need you at the client place, you get to travel. That is one major benefit. But in terms of career trajectory, see, usually a candidate stays in business analyst or senior business analyst role for up to 5 years. Beyond that, you have to take a call. Do you want to become a subject matter expert? If yes, then you can target becoming a consultant and then you can become a principal consultant. You can also target product manager as a role and then eventually you can become a product owner. But if you're more interested in becoming a people manager, then you can pick up project management as a trajectory, build your skill sets over there and make sure that you are a bit more strategy aligned and a bit more company aligned, admin aligned, project management aligned, rather than building expertise into just one segment. So that's your choice, but this is how your future looks like. In my experience, anyone who has, let's say, more than 10 years of experience within this field eventually goes to a senior management position and gets a salary north of 30-40 lakhs arams in Indian market. But yeah, that's it about the overall scope of business analyst, finance professionals getting into business analyst role. I hope you got to learn something from the video. If yes, do press the thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, do subscribe to the channel. As usual, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.